to be filming today's video because I have not filmed a school-related video in quite a long time, and you guys love my school series, like any of my back-to-school videos. I know you guys really thoroughly enjoy, so I wanted to bring you like kind of like a new updated one since the school year for most people is coming to an end. I know it's almost graduation for some of you, which is super exciting, but I thought since the school year is kind of coming to an end, I thought I would share some of my organizational tips and tricks for school and just kind of how to make it less stressful for you when you're going through, you know, nearing the end of the school year and you have all your exams coming up. You need some study tips, you know, how to study mostly is kind of what this video is going to be centered around, but also giving you tips on how to make sure you ace your papers for the end of the year or you ace your projects, your midterms, whatever the case may be. I wanted to kind of give my advice on my personal experience on how I like to stay organized, on top of things, how I like to prioritize my time and not be a procrastinator. So I'm just going to share some of my helpful tips that have helped me over the years throughout school, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on into the school tips and tricks video. I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love it if you would join the family. I post videos every single week, so go ahead and click that subscribe button down in the subscription box. That didn't make sense. Down in the description. It's not in the description. Down in the thing. It's somewhere down here. Anyways, go ahead and click that and click the bell next to it. That way you can be notified whenever I post a video. How cool would that be? Wouldn't you guys want to get a notification from me on your phone? I mean, I would want to get a notification from me. Anywho, let's hop right in, and I hope you guys enjoy. So the number one thing I want to talk about in this video is actually a website called Grammarly.com, and I want to talk to you guys about this because I recently had to write a huge essay for the end of the school year, and it was worth like 150 points of my grade. It was this big deal. I was super stressed out about it, and I used the website Grammarly to help me finalize my essay and make sure that I didn't make any mistakes. So that is a big thing that I want to tell you guys about and let you guys in on this website because I think it is so awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about Grammarly.com and why I love it. Grammarly pretty much acts as your personal proofreader. So what you'll do is you'll go on the website and you'll download your document or your written essay, whatever it might be, to Grammarly, and basically it'll proofread it for you. If you're a Grammarly, I can't talk today. If you're a Grammarly premium member, it's going to detect any plagiarism. So I actually signed up for premium on mine, and it detected, I think when I first inserted my essay, it detected like 12% plagiarism. So I went in and I kind of reworded things. So that was definitely really helpful. And what I really like about Grammarly is that at the bottom it shows you what your score should be. So I just kind of kept correcting until I got up to a score of 100. Stating the obvious, Grammarly also makes sure to check all your spelling mistakes and punctuation errors and help you correct and fix those, as well as help you fix sentences that might not make sense. Like I had a couple sentences in my essay that didn't quite make sense, and Grammarly suggested that I change it or maybe use a synonym for a word, which is super helpful, and it really helped my essay flow nicely, and it gave me more ideas for the future so I can kind of become a better writer in that aspect. Grammarly helps make turning in papers a cinch by making sure your writing is plagiarism free and it has no grammar errors and that it's spell checked and ready to go so you can turn in your final draft. If you guys would like to try out Grammarly for yourselves, go ahead and click the link down in the description box or click the link on the screen and it will take you directly to their website. I highly recommend it, especially if you guys have like a midterm paper or an essay or like a junior or senior essay to write. Definitely recommend using Grammarly to help fix any mistakes. It definitely saved my butt because I was about to turn in an essay and Grammarly said it was like a 75 grade and I boosted it up back to 100, which was awesome. So that is kind of the first thing that I really just wanted to share with you guys. Again, click the link down below if you're interested or want to learn more about Grammarly. Anyways, furthermore, let's get into the rest of this video. So I want to talk about a couple of tips that I thought have been handy over the years. I'm kind of going to think of these off the top of my head just because I've been thinking about it throughout this whole day because I knew I was going to film this video today. So my first tip would be really, if you know that you can apply yourself. Don't like be lazy or slack off. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I have this 100-point project, but you know, it's okay if I don't put my best effort into it. Try to put your best effort, especially if you're in high school. Like your first 3 years of high school, do your best. That way your senior year, maybe you won't have to put in as much work. So try to take all the hard classes or try to take more classes throughout your first 3 years of high school. That way, you know, come your senior year, you won't have to be like having to take all these classes or having so much work to worry about, you know. But that doesn't mean by all means like don't slack off senior year, but still try to put your best efforts forward. That's really probably the best piece of advice I can give to you guys. Even if you're not even in high school and you're like in middle school or junior high, still don't ever slack off, because if you start a habit of slacking off, you're going to continue that habit. I know I grew up being such a bad procrastinator. It was actually awful. So I would always procrastinate and be like, okay, it's due on Monday. Like I would get the project on a Monday and it would be due in a week, the following Monday. So I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I have a whole week to do it. And then it would be Sunday night and I would be like, oh my gosh, my project's due tomorrow, and I would just rush really quickly just to get the work done, and it wouldn't be quality work. If I would have actually probably taken the time to do it over the course of like the 6-7 days that I was given, then maybe it would have been like better work. Do you guys get what I kind of am trying to say? But I say the amount of work you put in is going to be the grade that you get. So if you barely put any work into the project, you might not get a good grade. You might not get the grade you want. But if you put a lot of work in, then you're going to earn the grade that you deserve. My second tip being, try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I know it's really hard for us teenagers. I can totally relate. Sometimes I don't even get 5 hours of sleep. I have just not insomnia, but I can't sleep some nights. So, but really, if it's a night before like a big test or like the ACT or a final or a state test, anything that's like has a major impact on your college career, your high school career, or a test that's gonna really determine your grade or your GPA, anything like that, try to get a good night's rest and study. What I like to do, one of my main study tips is I like to study obviously days prior to taking the test, but then the night before, right before I go to bed, I like to take at least 30 minutes right before I go to bed to look over the study material. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'll look at it again. And then right before the class or right before I take that test, I'll look at the study material again. That way it can kind of implant and be in my mind, and it can kind of be like a refresher every couple hours, like, okay, this is what I need to know. I also think making checklists are very helpful, making a checklist of what you know and what you're not so sure about, and then what you absolutely don't know. So for example, if you're taking a test on like a random topic, say it's like an English test, and you just want to do like vocabulary, so you could put like vocabulary you know in this column, vocabulary you don't know in this column, or like, yeah, vocabulary you don't know in this column, and then in the middle column you could put like vocabulary I'm not so sure about. So that's kind of a way to do like the process of elimination and eliminate the ones you know that you're good at, so you won't have to spend as much time studying those, and study the ones that you don't really know at all, you're not so sure of, so you can make sure come the test you're prepared and you're going to do great on it. It wasn't probably up until high school that I really started applying myself. I mean, my grades were like A's and B's, sometimes C's throughout my school years, but then when I got to high school, I was really like, you know, I really need to start applying myself, because once you get into high school, guys, that is when it starts to count. That is when it starts going on your transcripts. That is when it starts counting for college. That's when you're able to earn college credit for college classes. And I would honestly say, if your school offers college classes, take college classes. From experience, I've only taken one college class, and honestly, I think it's so worth it. Like, if the school is giving you this class for free and offering it for you to take where you won't have to pay for it in college, that's like $10,000 you can save right there, which I think is really awesome. So if you think you can do it, definitely take a college class or like a CCP class or an honors course. I think that's definitely could benefit some of you guys. If you guys are taking any like college courses now in high school, or you're taking any honors classes if you're, you know, below high school or still in high school, comment down below which ones you're taking and which ones you might recommend to take or how you like it, so you can kind of help other people out in the comments. So as far as organization goes, I really highly recommend, if you don't want to have a bunch of binders, I recommend having folders for each of your subjects. I've kind of swayed away from binders. I like to keep a trapper keeper, and then what I like to do is I like to just keep notebook paper in there and some tab dividers and just divide my subjects by that. So I'll get like a 3-inch trapper keeper, like 6 or 7 tab dividers, 8 at the most, and then I'll just divide them by subjects and electives, and then I'll put like my main papers that I need that day for that class in the trapper keeper, and I'll kind of switch it out every day. But then I just have individual folders for each class that I keep kind of miscellaneous papers in that I might not need as much. Another thing I also like to do is for notes, I like to color code my notes. I feel like that really helps me. So whether it be like so whether you use like color-coded pens or color-coded markers, I feel like, well, for me at least, color-coding my notes helps me kind of see everything in a bigger picture instead of it just being there in pencil. Like if I put something over here and then something, if I put something in green and something in pink, I don't know, it kind of just helps like open up my mind a little bit, like, okay, this draws my attention. Like, it just kind of draws my attention to the paper. I also highly recommend always just having somewhere to keep like important papers. So whether you have like an important folder that you keep all the papers that you know you're going to need, or study papers, but I really do recommend having either like a study binder or a study folder, so you can just put like all your study papers in one binder, in one folder. That way if you have a test coming up, you can have like a folder specifically, and You can have a folder that specifically has the material that you need for that test or for that ACT or OGT, whichever. Like, you can, you know, get material for that. Everyone has like their graduation test and their state test that they take every year, or their end of year exams. I highly recommend saving papers throughout the year. Don't throw away any of your papers throughout the year. Keep them, because you're going to want to refer back to that come towards when you get towards your end of the year exams. I've learned that over the past couple years. Like last year, I threw out like all my papers and then I was like, holy crap, like I could have totally used this. So definitely try to save papers. Don't try to throw them away, because they could probably definitely help you down the line. Lastly, I do want to say something that kind of goes hand in hand with not procrastinating. This is like, I want to say like try to kind of prioritize your time. So if you get a project, like I'm using this example again, but if you get a project and you get it on a Monday, and you know you have a week to do it, it's not due till the next Monday, try to prioritize your time well. So say, well, I'm really overwhelmed. Like if you're like, I'm really overwhelmed, I just got this project, but I also am in the process of doing another project that's due on Thursday, but this one's due on Monday, or I have an essay to write on top of this project. Kind of know what you're going to do and prioritize your time. So say like, well, if you're trying to come up with an excuse like, well, I have sports practice or I have lacrosse practice after school, I don't have time to do this project after school, so I'll just do it tomorrow. That's what kind of causes procrastination, is when you're just like, oh, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. Please don't do that, guys. Just know what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. So if you have a project that's due on Monday, work on it little by little every day after school. Then come Sunday, you can just kind of finalize everything and look over everything and be ready to turn in your project on Monday. And then if you have like an essay that's due in between that time, try to tweak your essay and write a little bit of your essay, you know, in between that time when you're working on your project. If you have a free break, maybe look at your essay, write a little bit of your essay, you know, just kind of know, like, just prioritize your time is really what I'm trying to say. Like, you know how your weekend's going to be planned. If you want to like take a little break and go to the mall for like 4 hours, go to the mall for 4 hours, but then come back and be like, okay, I'm going to go to the mall at 10, I'm going to come back at 12, and then I'm going to start working on my paper by 1:30, and then I'll take a 1 hour break and go do this, yada, yada, yada. Just kind of like mentally think about how your day's going to go. That's helped me so much. Also, keeping a planner. I know a planner can be a girl's best friend. It's definitely my best friend. I'm a very forgetful person, so if you tell me a due date and you're like, yeah, oh, it's due in like 2 weeks, 2 weeks later, I'll be like, we had a project? Like, what do you mean? So either keep a school planner or a personal planner. For me, personally, I like to have both. I like to have a personal planner just to keep all my personal things in, like doctor's appointments, hair appointments, YouTube stuff, any like special event that I have coming up. And then I also have a school planner. This is strictly for school, so I only strictly keep like assignments in there and school related things in my planner. That way I don't get anything mixed up. So yeah, that's really my main tips. And if you're getting towards the end of the year and you're losing motivation, try not to lose motivation, just push through, because how good is it gonna feel come the last day of school when you don't have any work, you're either graduating or it's your last day of school and you're graduating on to the next grade and you have summer finally. Just try to have a positive outlook about school, you guys, whether it be like high school, college, junior high, middle school, however old you are watching this, try to have a positive outlook. Definitely when you get into college, it can be way more stressful. It is going to be way more stressful than high school, but high school is what kind of prepares you for college. And, the years ahead of your college career, whether you decide to go to college or not, this is just going to prepare you for life, for college, for taking those next steps. So try to create the good habits now and throw away any bad habits that you may have, because it's really going to help you in the long run. I'm still trying to work on that. I have a couple bad habits that I need to try and break, such as still trying to work on my procrastination, and then worrying's another thing. Like, I worry a lot and I get overwhelmed when I have a lot of assignments thrown at me at once. Like, one time I had like 3 projects to do in 1 week, 4 essays to write, and I was just like, oh my gosh, where has my life gone? But, that kind of goes along with prioritizing your time. Write everything down in a planner. If you're forgetful, write something on your planner. If your teacher assigned you a homework assignment or a project, write it down in your planner or somewhere on a piece of paper, on a notebook, so you'll remember, and then hang it up on your wall maybe. Or if you need motivation, write some motivational quotes on your mirror or on your wall on a piece of paper, somewhere where you go every day where you'll look and see it and know, okay, I can get through this day, I can do this, the school year's almost over. But I really thought that I would just quickly share those tips with you guys, just because I know I've been super stressed with the school year coming to an end, and I kind of just wanted to share my 2 cents with you guys about how I feel about it. I wanted to let you guys in on Grammarly.com because I thought it was extremely awesome, because it really helped me on my last essay that I wrote, and it's really helping me become a better writer. So without further ado, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you soon. I'm leaving for a spring break trip on March the 15th to Alabama, so I'm going to be filming a lot of videos that then I'm gonna have a pre-film to upload throughout that week that I'll be gone, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to comment video requests down below so I can look at them when I get back, and I love you guys all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.